Good morning, everybody. We're Board of Directors Workshop meeting for Tuesday, May 2nd. It's already May 2023, 9 a.m. Is there anybody taping the meeting? Val Stratton is. So if everyone can turn off their cell phones, we'll stand for a moment of silence in the pledge. Thank you.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any corrections to the minutes from the April 4th meeting? No? Okay, then April 4th minutes are approved. Second?
I second it.
Leo, do we have any correspondence? Okay.
Presented on April 10, 2023. We'd like to welcome you to the board and hope that you have a productive year. We'd also like to address our fall activities and get the board's approval for the events we would like to add in addition to the Halloween dates with the social club and breakfast with Santa. We would like to continue with the community breakfast and would include the South Hall and kitchen on the following dates: October 14th, November 18th, combined with the Crafty Stitches. December 9th, Breakfast with Santa. Horse races on Wednesdays from 5 to 9. October 4th, November 29th, December 13th. The races would use the large hall and kitchen and would be an open event. Lastly, we would like to host a large-scale car show. On the scale we are planning for this event it would require that Hampton Street be closed down during the show. This is a necessary precaution due to the last time this event was hosted here. A pedestrian was run over by a golf cart and hospitalized with serious injuries. We will continue to update you on the event as we plan these things out. We need to know the board is willing to do this and would welcome a board member to join our committee for the planning. The proposed date is October 15, 2023. As presented by Lauren Williams, President of Brookridge Men's Club. I move to allow the Brookridge Men's Club to use the clubhouse to continue the community breakfast and the horse races, as listed above, for Brookridge residents and outside guests, as well as just the facilities staff schedules, so no overtime costs are incurred. I move to allow the Brookridge Men's Club to host a large-scale car show on October 15, 2023, for Brookridge residents and outside guests, as well as adjust the facility staff schedules so no overtime costs are incurred.
Second it.
Second. Motion, the first one or the second one?
The first one,
Okay, you? You made a motion on the second?
do we have a motion?
Jim, thank you. Okay, go.
Do we have a vote for the first,
Sorry, my mistake, any discussion?
Any discussion?
I guess I'd just like to say I'm glad that the men's club is doing this well in advance. There have been some issues in the past where the men's club wanted to do something. This is putting out essentially 5-6 months in advance, and I think they're to be commended for that planning ahead. As far as the car show, they're looking for a board member. If they would welcome my assistance, I'd be happy to help them.
Thanks, Jim. Want to take a vote on this? All right, all in favor?
We've got two motions for the first and the second.
Thanks, Ken.
You're welcome.
Do I have a vote on the second motion? All in favor? Thank you. Okay. Good morning again. Just to bring you up to date on some stuff that's going on, I know you see all the outside work that's going on here. Tomorrow, Billy has informed us he hopes to be going ahead and laying some sod and overseeding and putting some sprinklers out for that area. We hope then to move on and get the trees trimmed up, some pressure washing done out there, some sprucing up of the curbing, things like that. The other thing that I have is on Saturday at 2 p.m., I had sent an email out to all the chairpersons of the committees that we're having a roundtable discussion. So we look forward, Millie and I look forward to seeing you at that. It's going to be room E. I sent out an email, so just a reminder on that. We look forward to meeting with you and hearing your ideas, things that we can do better, things that we're doing good, not so good, things like that. Patrona came over and wanted to remind everybody that she needs the club's 23 and 24 packs and setups. If she doesn't have them, she can't put you on the calendar. So please get them to her or she can't put you on the calendar. And she said that If she doesn't have them, she's coming after me. No. She didn't. I'll come to your house. I know where you live. So if you can do that, that would be greatly appreciated so she can put you on the calendar. I don't have anything else. We have a lot of stuff that's in the works right now. So it's kind of half, we brought you up to date on some things that were going on. The ladies' sauna, by the way, is completely fixed. I know. That's fixed and that is back up and running. The other things that we have addressed is fixed. So we look forward to getting the front spruced up and fixed so it looks nice and presentable out there. So that's what I have for you. Thanks. Carol, do you have anything today?
Yep, I just want to mention something that was brought to my attention. The Hernando County United Way has published a book. It's called 211. It's a senior citizen directory for crisis intervention and community resources. Some of the services they offer are for medical equipment, home assistant programs, transportation, financial assistance for utilities, vision, hearing, food pantries, and grief support, just to name a few. These organizations have someone that will answer the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have brought some copies with me, and we have more at the admin office if anyone's interested.
All right, we're moving on to the agenda items. The first one is the Traffic Safety Committee recommendations, placement of additional stop signs in Brookridge. Is Tracy here? Okay. Did you want to get up and speak about this?
Sure, I can go over the particulars.
So that everyone understands?
Good morning. Can you hear me? Tracy McCumber, Unit 2. The committee, the Traffic Safety Committee has made some proposals to the board. It's on the, did everybody get a chance to look at what we proposed as far as putting in some stop signs in the community? It was on the agenda. So our first request was to put 2 stop signs on Country Club. One at the top of Dinsmore and the other one at Cedar Cove. Is everybody familiar with that area? Right when you get to the crest of the hill before you come to the clubhouse. So this will do 2 things. It will hopefully reduce the traffic speed in that area because it's on the crest of a hill. It will also hopefully, the other place that we want to do stop signs, I'll do it all at one time because we did 4, and then do a 4-way out here at the clubhouse on Mission, Country Club, and Hampton Street. Again, that will eliminate a lot of the problems that we have on this road. It's going to decrease the speed coming up and down this hill. So we'll have stop signs at the bottom of Country Club, Hampton, and Mission. That will virtually be a 4-way stop coming out of the clubhouse. And then we also have proposed to put our speed limit signs in conjunction with the other one. We have a 20-mile-an-hour stop sign up the hill, and then the 25 is down the hill. We want to put those so they coincide with each other on both sides of the road. Does that make sense? Also, in addition, we'd like to place 4 no parking signs on the top of the hill at Country Club, because once you come over the crest of that hill, you cannot see, and I'm sure everybody has taken that drive. So for anybody to park on that road is absolutely dangerous, so we hope that that would be implemented as well. Any questions?
I have one. What are you going to do with the vendors that have people that come in and do lawn service and they can't park on the road up there?
I'm not sure. I think it's just hazardous. I mean, I think there's going to be instances, like I have a bug guy that comes and he has to park in my road at the top of the hill. You know, there's going to have to be some stipulations. I mean, it's just not, we don't want somebody visiting a neighbor, you know, and just park out in the road haphazardly. And it happened to me the other day. Somebody visited the house next door. She had no idea that she parked on this hill that you can't see coming up, so I told her that she better move. So at any rate, I think there's going to have to be some allowance for, you know, if they're not staying, it's not like they're going to visit their friend for 3 hours. I think if it's a landscaper or your bug guy or whatever, then that would have to be stipulated.
May I ask a question at this time, please?
Go ahead, Ken.
All right. I had a CDL at one point in my past. All right. I see asking a pup trailer, which is approximately 40,000 pounds, to try to come to a dead stop at the crest of a hill. I think we're asking for a lot of problems unless we're going to establish a truck route in order for the vehicles to come into the clubhouse, both the clubhouses, as well as the golf courses maintenance building, is that what they call it, at the end of the street. I know even with my Brinks truck, back when I drove for them, all right, to stop 26,001 pounds on a hill and expect me to come to a start going, you know, to gain momentum to crest it, is going to be a traffic problem in itself, let alone, you know, a pump trailer that clips in at almost 40,000 pounds.
They can take an alternate route, Ken. You know, what we're trying to do is just to alleviate some of the issues we have with the flow of traffic. We can't eliminate traffic in here. We just can't. There's no way. We can't get like a mass transit system in here, like a bus or whatever. So we have to try to control what we do have. So I guess for those instances when we have like the beer truck who's notorious for zooming through here, well, maybe he'll have to take a left onto Nickelodeon and take a different route. That might slow him down. I don't think we can accommodate for every single issue. I mean, our concern is for the safety of our community, so that would be my concern.
I have a question. Has anybody from the traffic committee contacted the county traffic?
Yes.
To see what their recommendations can be to help slow down traffic in here?
Well, there is no...
Well, because I understand we're private roads, but this here is also an evacuation route on Country Club.
And I did talk to the emergency management office yesterday, and there's no stipulations whatsoever for having stop signs in an evacuation route. There just can't be. And they verbatim told me that you don't just disobey the traffic signs because there's an evacuation. So that has no bearing on that. So it wouldn't impede anything as far as the evacuation route. And just to note that our next project is to work on the evacuation route to get our signage up to date so people actually know where it is and how to get there. So that's our next project.
I got a question. Tracy, if you're gonna do this and you're gonna have contractors back there, are we opening ourselves up because of these contractors need to put the proper cones out? So everybody,
Can't hear you, George.
They need to put the proper cones out so that they know that you're gonna have to go out around them. Some of these trucks park on these hills and there's nothing. And they should have cones in back of them. I think it's really by law, I think they're supposed to have 4 to 5 in the front and the back to keep people away from them.
Yeah, I think that should happen. I think most vendors, not all of them, like our lawn guys, you know, I'm out on the streets a lot. I'm either walking and I see a lot of yard guys that are doing mowing and stuff, and they don't put cones out. So I don't know if that's something that we have to implement as a community, that it's required if you have a parked vehicle with a trailer, that it needs to be coned, I would assume.
Go ahead. Get it.
Gail Metcalf, Unit 6. I'm just going to comment on the cones. We used to there was a rule years ago that they had to put cones out. And it was no, there isn't, we've changed it. We still, and when we researched, and our Greg Schubert, when you look at the law says that it's only for It's only for their safety, it's not for the people's safety. Because if they don't have it out and it's in our rules, we can be liable. That makes Brookridge liable for any incidents that happen. So that's why they took the rule out about 7 or 8 years ago.
Ken, you got a question? Yeah. Go ahead.
Ken Walls, Unit 4. Question is, if you're on a blind hill, you cannot use an orange cone and force traffic to the oncoming lane on a blind hill. Where you going with that?
I think there's a myriad of issues that will have to be discussed. And as the traffic safety, we are working on quite a few. And like I said, we've just started, but we will try to reach every issue at some point that we have. And like I said before, we also would like to have a town hall so all these things can be discussed and hopefully resolved. So
if you didn't put traffic cones out, which I understand what you're saying, Ken, so who's liable if they're on a crest of the hill and there's an accident? Is it Brookridge is going to be responsible, or is the contractor going to be responsible? How does this work?
That's what Gail had said.
Yeah, it would be the insurance companies.
Whose insurance company?
That's the reason why we took out the cones, because it's their responsibility. It doesn't become Brookridge's. If we tell them they have to do cones, it becomes our responsibility.
Beverly Epstein, Unit 6. I appreciate what the committee has been trying to do to control traffic, but I don't think it's very practical to have all these stop signs in such a short area. There's large crowds leaving the clubhouse on bingo, when we have events, when we have shows. And what about emergency vehicles? Are they required to stop at every stop sign? So it's just really, in my opinion, is not practical.
I think that's part of the problem is the flow of traffic, especially after bingo. I mean, it's going to regulate some of that traffic. It's going to slow them down at the bottom of the hill. They'll get to the top of the hill. It's going to slow them down. It's going to slow them down coming up Dinsmore. So I think overall, is it perfect? No. But is it an answer? I think it's very viable that it may help the community. But I think, again, especially if you come out of the clubhouse like I do, even on the golf cart or in the car, nobody stops at that stop sign, and they just blow through it. Well, most people, but or roll, whatever you want to say. So I think if we can come up with some continuity as far as controlling the traffic in this area, then it may be helpful. Unless anybody's got a better idea. I just think that, the people on the Traffic Safety Committee, there's quite a few of us, and we have brainstormed this, and this is what we came up with. And I think that the ideas are could be implemented and work quite well.
There is a lot of information here. Did you have a question?
I would like to make a comment. Okay? I have no objection to stop signs, but I really feel the location of these stop signs should be presented to the board. The board should look at it very carefully before we implement any more stop signs. I don't think it should just routinely be voted on at this point in time.
I have submitted the schematics to the board. They are on the agenda. And that's fine. If that needs something that the board would like to do is review them, that's absolutely, I have no problem with that. But there are schematics that were provided that shows you the exact placement, how the signs will be then aligned, the 20s and the 25, to have more continuity on Country Club as well. And that's all been submitted, so.
Okay, and subject to the board reviewing that, I would not want to take any action on any of this.
Daniel Bain, Unit 6. A couple questions I have. The stop signs I don't agree with. The four-way stop, I don't understand the purpose of that at the end of the Country Club in Hampton. And the purpose of the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit is for the top of the hill, yet we're going to extend it beyond the top of the hill, so I think that's unnecessary.
The speed limit signs right now are staggered. So what it's going to do is produce the change of speed coming in both directions at the same time. So if you're coming up, the 25 mile an hour is on your left when you leave the clubhouse. The 20's at the top of the hill when you leave the clubhouse. And then the other two are the same. They're both staggered. This way you'll have continuity and speed changes coming and going on Country Club.
I think the continuity needs to go the other way. Because, again, this 20-mile-an-hour speed limit is for going up the hill, not down the hill. Because you have visibility when you go down the hill. You don't have visibility when you go up the hill, so that needs to be considered as well.
I tend to agree with you, sir. I think the 20-mile limit should be eliminated. It was originally put out because of handicapped person, which no longer is here. And I strongly feel it should be either 30 on the Brookridge Boulevard, but 25 everywhere else. And that motion was made prior meeting to eliminate the 20. And I kind of embraced the idea of either 25 or 30.
We're talking about the 20 mile an hour on Country Club, which needs to be on the crest of that hill. We're not
Right.
talking
And I
about.
think that was implemented because of somebody with a handicap at the time. It was created for that particular person, which has since passed away. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's, to my knowledge, I don't know. It's, as long as I've been here, it's been 20 miles an hour. And I think it is because of that hill there. It's a blind hill, Leo. So that would be my assessment, but I could be incorrect.
Leo, Gail Metcalf, Unit 6. Leo, you just mentioned about the 20-mile-an-hour zone, and it was implemented partially because of the blind person, but the other thing was walkers going over that hill. It wasn't just the blind person. So I won't say anything more to that, but I just want everyone, and Tracy and your group, to know that I'm glad that you're taking this on, and there's a lot of work left to do. I feel that this is something that isn't ready for a vote yet because there's so many questions, but I am glad to see, and all of us are glad to see that there's more work being done on that.
Thomas Fryman, Unit 2. I'd like to make a clarification of one of the statements that was already made. Thomas Fryman, Unit 2. I'd like to make a clarification of a couple of statements that have been made. The stop sign, or speed limit signs, they're supposed to be by the manual of the traffic engineering. Regardless of what the speed is in each direction, they have to be equal. They have to be equal. They can't be staggered. Once you see the sign, does not mean just because you can visualize the sign that that's the speed. You have to pass this sign and then it becomes the speed. So if you're going up the hill at 20 miles an hour, it doesn't change till you get to the bottom of the hill and it becomes 25. So up and down is 20. I live at that intersection. It's a very active and very unsafe intersection. There have been a lot of code violations at that intersection. Thank you.
Lucille DeGuire, Unit 4. I have to agree with some of these people that have already come up. I'm just adding. I think it's important that the 20 and the 25 are in line with each other because it's been a speed trap down at the bottom of this hill, my opinion. But I would think that 25 should go up to where the 20 is, not the 20 go down to where the 25 is, and that's my opinion.
I think that there's a lot to discuss, and if we need further review, that's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that. Thank you.
This is a lot of information, and I think it would only be fair that we get more people.
Ken Wall, same Unit 4. Hey, what do we get? About 70% of our visitors that come through the gate that goes to the clubhouse? Just rough guess and say 70%. Then why not from Country Club or from the Boulevard going up Country Club, make it 20 mile an hour all the way to Hampton. Then you're controlling the outsiders that's coming in. Yes, we'd have to obey with the same thing, but you're controlling all the outside people that come in for the shows, exercise, whatever. Make it 20 mile an hour for that one stretch of road. Simple, cut and dry.
Thank you.
This is a lot of information that you presented today with the traffic committee. I think it would only be fair that we really look at this and get all the residents' input on it and see what they feel is best. So I think at this time, I think we should probably table this for us to further review. Do I have a?
Debbie?
Do you want to table it for Wednesday night meeting? I don't think that's going to give us enough time. What about, we don't have a workshop in June. What about the June board meeting? How do you?
I would agree with you.
Give us time, Tracy?
Yeah, I don't
And you would be back.
think it's imperative that it be done right away. I'd rather see it done correctly, that everything's reviewed. I have no problem. We just wanted to submit what we have, and like I said, I think it's imperative that the residents as well have input, and Wednesday obviously seems to be a better fit. But yeah, I absolutely agree with that. That's no problem. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Madam President?
Yes.
Would it be possible for the traffic committee to have a town hall before that meeting goes so that it could be videotaped and out to the membership in its entirety specifically, and we could make our decision?
Well, Ken, we must be ESPing ourselves here because I was thinking the same thing. That's why I thought June. And then we could actually, in between there, set up some type of town hall just for the traffic.
I agree to that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I'd like to separate these. You have three proposals here. Two are talking about stop signs and placement of signs. The third is the no parking. And in my humble opinion, that should just be a simple yes. We should be able to vote for it. It should be yes, because I can't think of a reason why we wouldn't want to have no parking signs on those two hills. It's just reckless, it's dangerous. We have a no parking stretch on Rialto for the people that come off Taft and they turn left on Rialto. That's been there for more than 5 years. Never seen a problem. Never seen a problem with contractors parking their mowers. Probably gone through that area 100 times, maybe 1,000 times. I would think that we could at least vote on the no parking and get that approved, because to me, that seems very straightforward, pretty simple, and it's for the safety of not only the people that would be parking there, but anybody either driving around it or walking around it, whether you're in a cart or a golf cart.
I think we really need to look at all of this, and we really need to go and look at exactly where these signs want to be, that they want to put them. And I think it would only be...
We can do that too.
And we just have an open town hall, and it would just be for the traffic. Right. Anybody got it? Thank you. We would, actually, we're going to have to ask, oh, she ran away, Patrona. Oh, we'd have to get with Tracy and everybody. Patrona. Oh, Patrona. How dare you leave? Okay. We're actually trying to figure out a date on when we could just have a town hall for the traffic.
You want to do it as soon as possible?
Afternoon or evening? Probably evening to be, so that everyone can join.
Debbie, do we want to do this before the next
That's what
board
I'm,
meeting?
yeah.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what-
that would be fine. Yeah, we can get the committee together and come up with a plan.
Well, we're going to table it until June, the June board meeting, but we would like to have a town hall just for the traffic before the June board meeting. Okay.
Thank you. I'll get with Patrona.
Okay. All right, and then we can put it on out. All right.
So we make it official?
Yeah, we'll make a motion. Yeah, so I make a motion to table all 3 items for the Traffic Safety Committee. Leo seconded. All in favor? And we'll make sure that we have that after, in the evening, so that everyone can join and participate. But it would just be for the traffic. Okay. It will be what they had presented so far, because, and I don't mean, I hope I'm not going too far ahead, but you're kind of, from how I can see this is being done, is you're breaking it up in sections. And you're going to each section in the community and looking at that area. Okay, all right. So I think it would just be on this section here that we have the town hall for, and everyone can voice, and maybe we can come up with a consensus or other ideas or input. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next item, which is a big thing, an air conditioner. So we have 3 bids.
Debbie?
Yes.
If I might, we have Tuesdays and Wednesdays open the rest of this month. So Tracy, if you and Tracy want to get together and come and let me know, either of those days are good from now till through June 4th.
June what? Okay. Yeah. All right, thanks, Patrona. So the first AC quote that we got was from a company called Beko. It was to install a new 7.5-ton straight cool package with a new thermostat, new smoke detector, dampers, attach it to the existing ductwork, install rain shield on the system, remove old system and discard, install. It should be a 3-day total job. They actually have this unit, from what I understand, in stock in a 2-week shipment. Okay? The ladies for the Tuesday bingo have graciously said that they would pay the extended warranty, which is about $1,650. Becco came back to George and said they would take $350.
$350 off the warranty.
Off the total price.
When they do it, correct.
So, do you have a final amount for them? The
$22,965.
So their final bid is $22,965.
Actually, it's $22,915.
$22,915. The ladies of the bingo said they would pay the $1,650 for the additional warranty, which is 5-year parts and 5-year labor extended warranty. They actually said they could get this to us within a few weeks. They know where one is. Yep, that.
Can I say something? Make it simple. We are the people here.
On your mic, on the mic.
Betco put 2 air conditioners in here a while back. Okay? Wait. They were good. No problem with the system. I'll start again for you, so you know.
Rich Stratton, Unit 3. The warranty is about a 3 or 5 year warranty, right? Now, what are they going to charge us? Is this from Art, the actual owner? Mm-hmm. We paid $1,000 for a 10-year parts and labor. You didn't pay. Social Dance and Men's Club paid that. Why can't we get a 10-year warranty from them?
Rich, I checked with them, all of them, and I asked them, and there's, on a commercial air conditioner, they're gonna do 5 and 5.
Art did 10, the owner.
But is it a commercial on that end? I don't know. I mean, that's what they told me. I mean,
Okay, what he told me, he's the owner, I talked to him, negotiated with him only. Okay? We signed the check at the office, no problem. I want to talk to the owner, not a salesman, not anybody else. He's the one who's gonna make the deal for you.
He was here.
Yeah.
He was here. That
Yeah.
call was here.
Right. Pardon? You can negotiate. Am I right? Yeah, they do negotiate, I tell you that right now.
Huh?
They do negotiate. Otherwise, you back away. Person who speaks last loses. You gotta negotiate with them. Call them up, tell them you want a 10-year and a better price.
Well, one of the problems that we're finding, one of the problems that we're finding is the availability of equipment. We are finding that some of these, they can't even tell us when they will be in. So we have the summer coming. Residents have been without air condition, especially on the stage area. That's where this is going.
We know that.
But residents have been without that AC for over a year.
Now, on this unit they're gonna put in here, what is the capacity of the personnel for body heat? Just because you put an air conditioning system in here, at whatever you're gonna do, will it take care of, like in a room over there with 40 people in body heat?
Well, this AC is going on this, to the stage area.
I wanna find out what's gonna be for the personnel with the body heat. Just not an air conditioner, it's gotta take care of the body heat and cool the air down, just like in your house.
Rich, can I ask you something?
Sure.
When was the last time an air conditioning unit was purchased for this building? How many?
About 3 years ago.
Okay, and right, we had COVID, right. Is that air conditioning unit still working?
Yeah, it works perfect, right down the hall, 2 of them. They're outside. They're outside the building. Not inside, outside, for a reason.
What's the reason?
They do a better job outside. They don't leak inside the room and the floor.
Okay, do we have, to your knowledge, do we have any equipment down in the Public Works building?
One or
Any
two?
units down there in the building?
Okay. Art from Pesco moved the air conditioner from here down to the Public Works. And there it's at. I don't know, we have, we're using it, I don't know. They moved it down there.
And it was a unit for this building?
It came out of this building, still working.
Still working, but
Yeah.
yet it's not here, it's down there.
You're right. If anything, if you need the parts, there's parts there. But I don't know about that because I'm not concerned with that. I'm concerned about the warranty.
This is,
Could have been 5, 6 years old, maybe 10 years old, still works.
this is where we are at this right now.
Okay.
Just to let you know. These estimates that we got, because of the way things are today, with prices, you go out there tomorrow, the price of something is up more. They have guaranteed these prices right now until we come to a decision. They cannot keep these prices because they don't know what their price is going to be tomorrow. Some of these quotes that we have got, one here is an estimated 13 to 14 weeks before we will even get pricing. And during that time, if the price goes up, we're on the hook. So I feel also that residents have been left without an AC for a very long time, and that's not fair. And we need to come to some decision. If we go and table this today, we will not be guaranteed these prices, and we don't even know when they can get it to us. We have one company.
I would just worry about calling him up on the site, guarantee everything, and ask him to negotiate with the warranty for 10 years, as he did before. It's not new to him.
All right.
It's not new to Art. He's the owner.
Right.
You deal with the owner, one-on-one.
That's who actually, for Betco, that is actually who came out here, was Art.
Hey, Rich,
Right.
just to clear that up, this board is working diligently on getting the better practice for everything.
But that air conditioner, as you call it, hasn't been working properly for 2 years.
But can I ask this? If everybody knew that we had 2 air conditioners down there and this one's been down since last August or even longer, why didn't somebody come forward?
I don't know.
Not a soul.
I don't know. I mentioned that the air didn't work.
Who did?
I did. I mentioned the air conditioner doesn't work and the people for the dances.
Did you? But nobody. This is the first I've heard of it today. That we got 2 air conditioners sitting down there.
You got to talk to the management. I just can't go to somebody. You got to go to the management. Period.
Can I inject one thing here?
Go to Mike.
Okay. Okay, what I understood, because I understood those, sealed acquire, uniform. When those 2 air conditioners were put down there, I knew they were there. Then eventually, if I'm incorrect, correct me. One of them was put into the administration building because it was needed. I think there's only one down there. Plus, is it the capacity you need to put out here? These are things to consider, which would be a quick answer once you talk to the right people.
Okay, so this is the first time that we've heard about it, right? So the next quote that we have is from Greg Kruger. He is for a 10-ton commercial package, all his work, warranty 5 years on the compressor, 1 year on parts, 1 year on labor. He is estimating, he has said he is also awaiting the availability of pricing on a 7.5-ton split system, but he's estimating 13 to 14 weeks before he'll even get the pricing on that. His final price came in at $22,370, but he is also saying that he does not know when he can get a unit to us. So that's what we're with on him. On Graham Heating and Air Conditioning, his was an Amana 7-point-ton package. He also stated that he does not know when he can get his to us, and his final price came in at $19,686.41. This is a smaller, this here, and his warranty is a 3-year labor warranty obtainable by maintaining a comfort care plan with Graham Heating. System will come with a 1-year warranty required by the state of Florida. All materials and labor will be warranted through Graham Heat and Air. So he's not offering what Betco is offering. And he also said it will be a month or more before he can get it here. Betco is saying that they know where it is. Is that correct, George? They know where it is right now? It's in Georgia or South Carolina? Okay. Yep. Excuse me?
They're mounting it on the roof.
Yes.
The other ones are not being mounted on.
Correct.
What, the new one that's going in out back?
For Graham's. Graham's estimate is to put it on the roof.
Yes. Graham's was to put it on the roof and bring a crane in here. And we're not, that would cost a lot more money should we need service or something like that in the future to get a crane in here. God only knows what the prices will be like then.
But it's a smaller unit.
Yes, it is, with a crane.
Yeah. So why you think about it, because you're talking 10 ton and 7.5 ton, there's no comparison.
Right.
You do 7.5, you replace it in 6 months.
Does anybody here have anything they want to add? With the, everything that we have seen and the people that we have talked to regarding this, I would like to make a motion to accept Betco for the price of $22,915 to install the new air conditioning at the clubhouse as per the attached quote. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Do I have a vote? Yeah? Yep. We discussed it. Yeah. Vote.
As far as the discussion, only one of the 3 vendors actually has an air conditioner that we can put in. The other 2, we don't know when.
Right.
Maybe it's 13 weeks, maybe it's 100 weeks. So there's no way to know for sure. I particularly don't like putting it on the roof. Ken and I were discussing that. It presents all kinds of problems.
Right.
I think that's a disaster waiting to happen. So
yes.
From my perspective, it's been since last August or so since we haven't had an air conditioner. In my humble opinion, it's time to do something.
Yes, and Betco knows where it is. They can get it to us about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's actually,
Yep.
what they said the other day was it's in Punta Gorda. It's in South Florida.
All right, so they've moved it since then. Okay.
They also have the other locations, just in case. They have like 40 units in the southeast area that they can pull from.
Okay, but they know where it is and they can get it to us. And with the summer coming, I think it's the right thing to do to make sure that everyone is finally somewhat comfortable until we can address the other issues that we have. So, do I have a,
As far as Rich is concerned, and it's a valid concern, did we negotiate? I would say that we did. We spoke to the owner. George talked to him more than once. He came down on the price. He did not come down on the warranty, and George asked him to come down on the warranty because I asked that question as well. My suggestion is that we vote on it, and I'm going to vote yes.
okay. Do we have a vote? All in favor of Betco? Aye. Yeah. And right now, with the committees and the reports, we're having a roundtable discussion on Saturday with all the committees to talk to them, see what they want from us. So we look forward to meeting with them all so that we can bring back a report from what we have, Millie and I have discussed with them. So right now, is there anybody that has any comments? Sandy, I should have known. Sandy Lewis. I just don't know your unit number yet. Sandy Lewis, Unit 1.
They call me Sandy Trouble Lewis, Unit 1, and I just want to thank the board. Debbie and George, Kathy and I, Kathy does the other exercise class in the pool. We got together, we discussed the pool time, exercise time, everything, and we came to a compromise. So I'm happy to say thank you. And the classes Monday through Thursday are 9 to 10, and I hope to see every single one of you there.
But there's also a change for the other time.
There's a change in the fall. It's from April 1st to October 31st. It's 9 to 10. And then from November 1st to March 31st, it's 8:45 to 9:30. So it's still, be warm enough to come and swim or exercise or not. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait. I have one more thing. After the meeting, I took Debbie and George into the ladies' room because, well, now just listen to this. It was stinky in there. And I didn't know what it was. The first time I smelled it, I thought, well, somebody forgot to flush. So I checked everything. Second time, same thing. Took Debbie and George in there, and immediately they knew what it was. And you know what? It's fixed. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. It needed heavy duty,
It's amazing what you can do when you know there's a problem.
I think it was the heavy duty, some drain cleaners
Yeah.
you put down.
Yeah, we have a product.
Yeah, and so they put it down before they left, so it could, I like to call it marinate overnight and go in there and flush them down. So that actually worked out.
Val Stratton, Unit 3. I imagine with the traffic committee, we'll be buying some signs. So I'm hoping to get a discount on signs and replace the various ones in the community that are just up, but they're totally blank. There's several of them, even right at the front gate. So if you could identify those and replace them.
Val, they're actively looking at the signs that are either unreadable, illegible, or just plain faded, so they're blank. So we are looking into that.
Lucille Year, Unit 4. Basically, in the news and views, we got some of the liaisons, some of the committee have their liaison from the board, but not all of them do. Have you finished doing that?
Well, that's why we're having the roundtable discussion on Saturday with the heads, the chairpersons of the committees, so that we can sit down and discuss things, and maybe they might have some new ideas on moving forward.
Oh, okay. No, it's because I know there was a meeting yesterday. Is she permanently the liaison?
Yes, for rules
okay,
and
that's
regs.
what I meant, that if you can just let people know which director is the liaison for which committee.
Right, and that was the purpose of having the Saturday roundtable discussion.
Again, Rich Stratton, car show. You realize the car show, this parking lot here will be closed, we'll use that parking lot. This parking lot here will be used also. There'll be no parking for anybody, only on the grass, right? You okay the car show, right? The grassy area out there, that's will be parking. for the people who come to the car show, and I can back myself to the last car show we had here, the big one, we had 118 cars in this lot and that lot. Okay, so it's going to be crowded. We asked for the street to be closed all the way. That means on Weatherford, I want code enforcement to put up the do not cross on my property and the property next across the street, because people will drive around the property to go up there. That's a no-no. Because I have this space or the men's club from say 6 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock. I don't want any golf carts running through there also. Just as you have a show here or anything, nobody else comes in and uses that property, right? In this building? I want that out there like that also. So it's not me doing this, it's the men's club. And let me ask you a question. You say, well, what do I have experience? Donna, how many years? Okay. I started this in the 80s. It's 50 years already. The experience is there. First call I make for people, I call the concierge service for GM. Freebies. Heritage service. Freebies. The dealership where I talk to the old man, I get donations. So this is what we do here. So I like to have a nice good car show again, and no problems. The men's club will cook. We'll have 99.9 radio station out here. Just do a regular program. Any questions?
Dick, I thought, didn't you say you were going to check with the golf course, Dick? Terrell was going to check with the golf course to see about telling them they can't come across that parking lot on that day?
No, to be honest with you, I wasn't aware of the car show. No,
Well,
I will.
Can you do that for us and get back with Rich?
You after, and you can tell me what I can do. I'd be glad to help.
Does that sound good to you, Rich?
I need everything cut and dried on paper so we can see what's going on before I'm going to start the initial operation. Okay? I want everything done on paper.
I'll do everything I can do, Rich, to help.
And Patrona, she knows, we have a group, a club here called Cars and Coffee, Bikes and Trikes. We have it in here. That will start again in July. I'll get with her. And the guys, the cars that come in, I'll have coffee, a tent set up, books out there. I will use those people to give the flyers to go out other people. It's just an operation. 2 till 4, 4 till 8. So that's it. And this car show is going to be and the judge car show will just be participation by the people that are here. So I don't have to worry about having all the cars judged. Any questions? You can always get a hold of me, okay?
We know where you live. Thanks. Yeah. Renee, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yes.
Renee Jasnak, Unit 1. What I want to bring up is about the vendor books and the availability that the vendors have to those books. So last year in May, we hired a landscaper for our lot. We had him May and June because within that 8-week period, he ran into our 3-year-old fence twice. The first time, my husband and I covered the whole repair. He never offered to fix it. We had to have the fence company come out and do the repair. Okay, that was done. Within a couple of weeks, he came out, my husband handed him the check before he even started for the month to cut the lot. Within 5 minutes, he came to our door to tell us that his worker once again hit our fence. He handed my husband the check back, which was $80 at the time. That didn't even cover one repair. So once again, we had to have the fence company come out, fix our fence. At that time, I ended his service. That was the end of it. So that's in June. We hired a new landscaping company, and they've been great. In October, he started sending us the bills for the house next door that he continues to service. In October, I called him. I told him, you're sending the bill to the wrong house. It continued in November. It continued in December. I got on the phone with him. I wrote him a big, long letter with the proper address as to where he's supposed to be sending the bill, and I sent that back to his address. I went to the office, to the vendor books, like I have done the whole time that we've lived here, looking for, good recommendations, who to use. And I put a comment in that book about I would not recommend his service. I explained what he did, and that was the end of it. Yesterday, so this is already 5-6 months ago. Yesterday, I was out gardening in my yard, and he came to service the lot next door. I noticed him. I'm out doing my flowers. He came onto our property, and at first he started stupid comments about money and what do you want me to do, pay you money? I didn't know where he was going. And in a couple minutes I realized he started to pressure me to take that comment out of the book. And I said, I'm not doing that. I put down honestly my opinion. He was furious, screaming at me. He goes back to the lot. My husband came out the door. He's angry, and he's already done cutting, and he's starting to blow. I mean, he went over that lot. There were sticks, leaves everywhere over there. He started blowing, he was angry, and he's blowing half of that debris back onto our lot. So I was just surprised that I never realized that they have access to our comments. I mean, I would think, if you're putting a good review or a bad review in there, I'm doing it for the residents that I live with, not for a vendor to come back and, be angry at me. So I just wanted to bring that up to everybody, that they can go in there at their will and look through all the comments in the books, which I feel should only be for residents. Thank you.
Can't hear you.
That one's not. No, that one's not. If I may, some of the vendors are residents, right? So I can understand Renee's point, of course, saying you don't want the vendors in there, but are we going to keep the vendors out of the office? And are you going to say to them, are you here as a vendor or are you here as a resident? Do we need to keep the vendor books behind the desk? So only certain people can look at them? I mean, where do we clarify here?
May I ask a question? I've seen the vendor books. I've used the vendor books. Would it be possible, instead of putting a person's name, having them use their UBL number, which would give them some form of anonymity to a point?
Well, you can, of course, but then there's the part where it says, would you recommend this vendor, yes or no? What does it say? Can we contact you? Right? Say you, Debbie, put something in about someone. Can we contact you, yes or no? So of course you could put no. I guess, we can put anonymous. I live in Brookridge and I really recommend this service, or I don't. I guess we can change it that way. So this way you feel comfortable if you wanted to put, this service was terrible, I don't recommend him or her, etc.
Right, but what took place here was totally unacceptable. Right, that he should not approach any resident. Is there, we need to maybe even address it further with a formal letter to the vendor.
And then say if he breaks the rules, if you will, again, he can be banned from here, for 30 days or something, maybe, yeah. Something we could think of. No, it's just that I know
I know people do call, residents do call. Sometimes, I need a locksmith. My landscaper quit, he got COVID, he moved away. And we do recommend the vendor books quite a lot, and they are helpful, good and bad, because we do have good and bad in there.
Right, but to have a vendor go and approach a resident that had a right to make the complaint on how they felt about the service they received
Right,
is,
'cause you don't want to not put something in because you get negative blowback. Of course, I can
Right.
understand your point too, Renee.
Almost,
And I didn't mean to cut you short yesterday, but I figured, you'd want to come up and talk here.
right. It was almost really retaliation against the resident for what took place. And I think that's totally uncalled for. And is there something that we can send them? A letter that what has taken place is totally unacceptable. I really wouldn't even mind having them suspended for 30 days.
Forever.
I think if you suspend them for 30 days, it's just going to make him madder.
30
When he
days.
gets back in his retaliation again.
Suspend them forever.
I think he has to be permanently
They're
suspended.
gonna be that way about it.
Because once he gets over the suspension, the next person he can harass his likelihood away. Yeah.
Well, the question I have in that regards, and this is where I would reach out to the corporate attorneys, would be on a situation like that, on a permanent suspension, would we not be opening ourselves up for a loss of livelihood suit? And
This is the only place he's done.
yeah, I know, I don't know. You're asking me
Right,
to
and if
speculate.
people had paid for services, Ken, if people paid for services already from this person, and then they could turn around and look at us, because we can't get their grass or whatever they needed done, and it's kind of a
I think
catch.
sending him an initial letter.
Letter.
Outlining our concerns and maybe putting in at the bottom of the letter that whether it's a threat or whether we intend to do it, that if he doesn't change, that he risks getting suspended either for 30 days or permanently. And then at least we started the first step and allowed him to reply to it.
Debbie,
Right.
can I interrupt there? I think we're overstepping the purpose of that reference book. People give good points, bad points. People can look at them, weigh them, and make their own decisions. I don't feel the board should ever get involved with whatever is written in those books.
Well, I think we should, to the point that a person who looked at the book took it upon themselves to go out to a previous customer's home and harass them, basically retaliated against them for something that they wrote. It's the same way people get online and write bad reviews of restaurants or services that they have outside. Owners don't come to your home and say, you gave me a bad review on Google or Yelp or something. But I think this person doesn't live here. That was clear. The vendor does not live here. Is that correct? As far as you know, right. So I look at when people come in here to do business, it's a privilege for them to come in here and go through that gate, and that they have to obey by the rules that we have here, and particularly not to harass residents over something that they felt. And evidently her fence was damaged twice. That was more of an expense than the $80 that she probably paid for the lawn care service.
I hear what you're saying, and comments can be made in those comment books, but I don't feel the board should get involved in what transpires. Definitely not.
Leo, we would get involved if they acted rude or inappropriate at the guardhouse. I've heard vendors on the audio swear at those vendors, and they've been banned for 2 weeks. It can be done.
I think considering he was in here doing business, is that, he was in here doing business? I think to send him a letter to tell him that if he does this again, he will be banned, or he'll be loss of his...
He needs to know that you can't come in here and act like that.
Right, you can't come in here, no. And especially that we have people that have probably paid for services already, then we're denying them the service. Then if code goes out and sees their grass shade, it's just a big, yeah. So I think just to send them a letter telling them that their behavior was totally unacceptable and it will not be allowed here.
All right, Deb, on that same note, if in fact a letter is sent to this vendor, do you not think that he's going to know that it may have had to do with the service that was not provided at this lady's house?
Well, he'll know that management knows, and that we're not
Right,
gonna...
but we don't
right.
want anything more to, transpire at her house either, being that he cuts the lot next door.
Well, I think if we put it in there that if he does this again, he will have loss, he will not be able to work inside of Brookridge. I think that might deter him alone. Right, I don't want him going back to...
Millie, and if he does come again to our property, I will call the sheriff's department.
Yes, you need to call the sheriff's department if he comes back, right, and make another report.
Yes.
Right.
Question. Him being a vendor, it's his business. You banned him, not his business, right? You banned him. He may have another 100 stores of businesses that are cut.
Right, we have to find that out. We don't know exactly who, I don't even know the name of the person.
So you're not going to ban his business, you're going to ban him. Right. Immaterial or not, you can't just say the guy can't come in there to cut your lawn and you got to get upset. Deal? Right.
We have one other thing, and that Carrie is correct, is tonight at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock tonight, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, everybody come, do what we gotta do.
Got some pizza and drinks. Gonna have a committee and some kids here. You talk to them. Unexpected, but yeah, tonight, 6 o'clock, pizza, some cold drinks, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, seniors, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. People like us over 55 or 60 or 70 or 80. But if you didn't RSVP, that's fine. Petrona and Mike are gonna set us up with a big room here with some tables. See how you can help a kid, 8 hours a month, maybe spend with a kid. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
All right, thanks. Okay. All right, if nothing further, I'd like to adjourn this meeting. Make a vote. All in favor? All right.
Not yet.